Michael Lahoud. Take it away, boys.
Thank you very much. That's the one and only Ian Paul Joy. Let me reintroduce myself. My name is Michael Lahoud, the dude. I work with Ian at CBS Sports Colossal Network, but my favorite person alongside Ian Joy that I'm just stoked to be here with today is your boy, our guy, John Buckets Eimer. And this is a bit of a special edition. My first time hosting on Stoppage Time. And Buckets, how you doing before we get into anything else?
I'm doing incredible, man. It has been a long time since you and I have done content together. For those of you that might remember, the longtime viewers, Mike Lahoud was on 2 years ago, and he cashed one of the biggest tickets in stoppage time history with his Manor Solomon anytime goal score back when he played at Fulham. So, Mike, the people will be expecting a lot from you, but I'm just excited to hang out with one of my boys.
Well, you can call me the people's champion because I'm here to make money for everyone. My wife probably wishes I could make money for us, more money in terms of betting. But alas, we get to why we're here. It's a European football week. It's the biggest gift that keeps on giving in terms of football betting. We'll start off with a bit of UEFA Champions League. Before we get to that, it's daylight savings time, Bucket. So that means that matches, we spring forward in the United States, but matches, they still stay the same amount of time. So what do you make of that?
What I make of it is it's a bit of a nightmare for people like me that are not the most technologically inclined. I was late to my last 3 shows now because I refuse to adjust my internal clock. But as a reminder to everyone here in the States, these games will be starting technically an hour later, even if it is technically, I don't know how it works, man. But 4 p.m. for a lot of these later games, 1:45 for the earlier games instead of that 12:45 and 3 p.m. that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, we're going to go through them in detail, but just mouth-watering matchups. I mean, your early kick, which used to be 12:45. I remember working those 12:45 matches here at CBS Sports. Barcelona, Benfica, Liverpool, worst Liverpoolian accent you'll probably hear, taking on PSG, Lille, Dortmund, Arsenal, PSV, and then we'll hit on the back end tomorrow's action, tomorrow meaning Wednesday's action. But let's look at some of the updated futures to win the Champions League because I've got my kind of thoughts on who's going to win, but I want to hear what you're thinking, Buckets.
Yeah, I mean, there's obvious movement here that we are kind of having to adjust to. Real Madrid just last week was ahead of Liverpool, but after a tightly fought leg one against Atleti, I think some people aren't really sure if Madrid are going to push through here. I'm a little bit shocked to see Liverpool at plus 400 because, frankly, I don't know if they get past PSG, especially after that first leg. That might be a hot take here. I know Liverpool won, but my word, I have not seen such a sad excuse for a team like Liverpool in that first leg, except maybe PSG, who probably should have scored 3 or 4 or 5 goals. If I'm looking at this list, I kind of fancy a sprinkle at PSG at plus 1600. I'm expecting absolute fireworks in that second leg, Mike, but some good matchups regardless.
Yeah, I love everything you said. I think Real Madrid, whatever people are smoking, I want some of it, or drinking, I want some of it because I don't see it at that plus 450. The likes of an Aston Villa, getting through Club Brugge is one thing, but they're a side that do not sleep on them because they have some experienced Champions League players, Marco Asensio being one of them, Marcus Rashford, and of course, Unai Emery. We all love goals, though, when it comes to Champions League. And this season, we kind of have a bit of a golden boot race. Sehu Girassi at the top there. But let's look at some of the updated futures on the race for the golden boots, Buckets, because there's some tasty names.
There's some very tasty names. I apologize, Jeff. I'm staying off of Serhou Guirassy because I don't think Dortmund are going to make it very far in this competition. You have to remember that it is the total amount of goals scored across all matches. So your teams that make it to the final, they're going to get extra opportunities to rack up that goal tally. I don't hate Robert Lewandowski right now. I know he is the favorite at plus 180. I would say Harry Kane at plus 300 shocks me because he hasn't been fully fit. We saw him rest at the Bundesliga fixture this weekend, and I'm not sure if they're going to start him with a 3-0 aggregate lead against Leverkusen. I'd be cautious at that plus 300. It's not fun, but at plus 180, that's where I'm looking.
All right, Buckets, you've heard it. You've said it. I just want to sprinkle a little bit on the likes of Rodrigo. If Real Madrid make it far, he is Mr. Champions League. He is kind of overtaking Vinny Jr. as the main man, but what do I know? I just talk about it. I don't make the bets about it for a reason. That's why you do. All right, we've talked about all this stuff in terms of futures, in terms of goal scorers. Now let's do the damn thing and get into the actual bets. So it's my first time, Buckets, doing this. I know the rules of the game are this: 60 seconds each to make a bet, maybe a little bit of then some. And today you have some a little bit of special guests or special parlay sprinkled in.
Yeah, we do. We're making this a bit of a community event. If you watched the last episode, you know that Champions League was not too kind on me. Mike, I don't know if you saw it. I was on the under 2.5 goals in that PSV game. Nothing like an 8-goal battle to really humble you a bit there. But we're bringing on some of our favorite cappers on social media and going to let them give some of their bets out as well. So it's not just my bets. It's not just Mike bets. It's a lot of different bets from a lot of very talented cappers. So I'm excited to share these with everyone.
Yeah, and remember, not just Champions League, we will have a bit of Europa League as well. And I know there's a certain Scotsman out and about in the wild right now that will be loving what we have to say. But let's just dissect this all. Let's get in the order of the games. Champions League Tuesday. It starts with the early one, 1:45. Tuesday, it's Barcelona, the High Flyers in La Liga, hosting the other High Flyers in Portugal in Benfica. Barcelona have the 1-0 aggregate lead from the first leg in Portugal, taking it back to Spain. Buckets, how do you see this one going down?
Well, before I give my pick, Mike, let's hear from our friend, Mr. Brad Thomas.
Listen, Barcelona versus Benfica. Leg one saw Barcelona win in Portugal, down a man. Incredible shot from Rafinha. I'm actually taking Barcelona minus 1.5. Now they're playing at home against a team that may feel defeated. That was their chance to go up on aggregate, and they failed to convert the many chances. Barcelona have one of the best attacks in all of European football. I think they capitalize in front of their fans, and they absolutely dominate. Best of luck. Take care.
So Brad is looking at that Barcelona minus 1.5. That's not how I'm going to attack that game, but I do agree with him. I see fireworks here. I'm going over 1.5 goals in the first half, Mike. Benfica have to make something happen after they embarrassed themselves for 70 minutes, not getting a single goal in that matchup. And Barcelona should score 4 against anyone at home. I just want goals here.
Yeah, I'm with you. Wojciech Szczesny, probably the reason why Benfica will feel like their rosy cheeks are going to get rosier, because that was their chance. I thought he stood on his head. I like what you have to say. I'm going to follow that up with Barcelona to get through. Some potential Ballon d'Or candidates will be on display in the likes of Rafinha as well. Now, I want to talk a little bit about an Italian football club that we get to cover here, Internazionale, going up and hosting Feyenoord. So, Buckets, is there a chance in hell for the Dutch side? Is it going to be a Dutch delight?
There is absolutely zero chance we get a Dutch delight. Feyenoord had their chance playing at home to make something happen, but Inter Milan's defense proved too tough, as it has for the entire Champions League so far. In their 8 group stage matches, a single goal conceded, and now they stump Feyenoord 2-0 on the road. I'm expecting a similar result here. I'm going with the same game parlay of Inter Milan on the money line, parlayed with under 4.5 goals here. I do not think we see fireworks here. I think we see a very cagey, slow 1-0, 2-0, but I got the host winning once again.
Yeah, it wouldn't be in Simone Inzaghi Inter side if they didn't keep the shutout and they didn't grind it out until they have a moment of magic from a high-flying Lautaro Martinez, who seems to be coming back from the dead. Now let's shift over to the big one in Germany. Florian Wirtz, question marks over about what the next couple months will look like for him. Not good, but Xabi Alonso's side down 3-0 from the first leg. I mean, come on. Is he going to produce some Xabi magic once more, or is it just done?
I don't think he'll produce enough Xavi magic to actually qualify in advance, but I think there can be some Xavi magic that makes them maybe keep the second leg competitive. And at the very least, I think Leverkusen do not lose this game. As we've already mentioned, Kane, not 100% fit. They might rotate. They lost to Bochum over the weekend. Bayern Munich is a tough team to bet on, but I'm going with Leverkusen draw no bet right now in this one, which is currently minus 110, almost even money. I just need Leverkusen not to lose. That's all I care about here.
Yeah, we used to call them Bayer never losing. Now they look like they're Bayer never snoozing from what I saw at the weekend. And no Florian Wirtz is no chance in hell from where I stand. But, you know, Xabi Alonso's done some miraculous things at the coaching helm. So we'll see how that one plays out. Now, the biggest match on Tuesday, Liverpool, the league leaders in the Premier League, hosting the league leaders in Ligue 1 in PSG. Arne Slot, Luis Enrique. Before we get to your thoughts, Buckets, you have someone in mind to get their thoughts on how this is going to pan out.
I do. Let's go to our boy in Cody. We trust.
I'm going to parlay Dembele, 1 shot on target, with Mo Salah, 1 shot on target, which comes out to minus 125 in a FanDuel. I love the value of this play. Both players average roughly 2 shots on target per game. Dembele himself had 2 shots on target in the first leg of this match, and I expect Salah to get back on track at home as well. Minus 125, I think, is incredible value for these two for 1 shot on target, and what I believe will be a match with a lot of fireworks.
Well done. I love that. I do think we see a lot of goals in this game. I think we see everything we wanted to see out of the first leg, but I'm looking at the man for PSG that I 100% cannot pronounce. I call him Special K. Kvetsha, Kvetsha, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Kvaratskhelia to score or assist, plus 140, Mike.
I'm loving it. In Cody, we trust. In Buckets, we trust, especially when it comes. No, we don't trust him when it comes to spelling names, but we trust him with everything else. Okay, and that is Tuesday's action. Let's shift over to Wednesday's action. The team that is the gift that keeps on giving in the Premier League, they are the goals that keep on giving. The Gunners, they host a struggling PSV Eindhoven side. Buckets, Mikel Arteta's side, they should get this through, shouldn't they?
You would think so, but I have in my notes when I gave my bet to Jeff, I said I have no effing clue how to bet this team because I was under 2.5 goals in that first leg. I talked about how Arsenal's missing strikers. They're defensive minded. None of that mattered, but I am going for the same kooky bet here. I'm going both teams to score. It's almost even money. It's minus 105 right now because Arsenal's probably going to rotate since they're up 6 goals. And if you look at PSV, both teams have hit across all competitions in 8 matches straight. I don't think anyone cares about this game. The difference is too big. Let the younger guys play and have some fun.
Yeah, tell that to Arsenal fans. I think I heard some Arsenal fans in the building and maybe my neighbor down the street screaming, "We're going to win the Champions League, man." But if you win this match, I think you play one of the two Madrid sides. So, buena suerte, which means you're getting your ass kicked in Spanish. So, the match of the underdogs, Lille, Les Dogs, they host a struggling Borussia Dortmund side. I mean, Jonathan David is a baller. Sekou Guirassy is a baller. But can Dortmund get over the hump against a tricky Lille side?
Before I answer that, let's see what our boy prospector Sam has to say.
My favorite play from this slate is Lille, Dortmund over 2.5 at minus 110. Dortmund have had a tough domestic season, and they really badly need a result in this match. And they play their best when they come out aggressive and play attacking soccer. I expect them to open this game up early, go for goals, which should lead to chances both on Lille's defensive end and for Lille if they come out and try to exploit them on the counterattack. Over 2.5 is my favorite play.
So I like this play a lot. I'm going with a little different angle, going to the Buckets Classics of both teams to score here for my bet, but I do see goals in this one because, as he mentioned, Lille, for me, have been unbettable. Dortmund is unbettable. I don't know how to bet. Jeff, your side confuses the hell of me. I don't know what to do with them, but I do see whenever Lille plays at home, you see goals. 2-1 against Monaco, 4-1 against Saint Etienne, 6-1 against Feyenoord. This is a team that loves goals at home. Give me both teams to score here, Mike.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Dortmund were unbeatable, and I was like, I think they just got beat by Augsburg at the weekend, and you could list a whole bunch of teams. Sorry, Jeff. I know I'm new to the show, but got to give shots wherever I can take them. My own club is struggling. Okay, but enough about me, and then back to the Champions League. Atletico Madrid hosting Real Madrid. Atleti struggling at the weekend, losing to Getafe. But Real Madrid, they look back in the title race. Buckets. Can Cholo Simeone get one over Carlo Ancelotti?
Let me go ahead and piss off all of our Spanish viewers here because I know that Real Madrid have football heritage. I know this is their competition. I know blah, blah, blah. I do not care because Julian Alvarez is one of the most exciting players in all of Europe for me to watch right now. And I love what Atletico Madrid are capable of doing when they play against good teams. Sometimes they play down to their competition, but they definitely play up to their competition like we saw the 4-4 draw against Barcelona in the Copa del Rey semifinal. I'm going with Atletico Madrid to score 2 or more goals in this one. It is plus 115. It is good plus value here, but I would not be shocked if they beat Real Madrid.
I'm with you on that. Rodrigo De Paul, though, his injury or potential miss is a big one when you look at who they can put in. Llorente can come in there, but he's not the same quality, and that might cost them. But stranger things have happened in this Madrid derby. Defense does seem to be the thing that gets the better of the two sides. And the last Champions League tie The Villa, Aston Villa under Unai Emery in Europe. They seem to be back and poised to get to the next round. But Club Brugge, Nicky Hayne, he's got a bit of tricks up his sleeve. Can the Belgian side do the unthinkable at Villa Park?
Let's go one more time to a community member, a Sportsline member, Martin W. Green, over from across the pond. Martin.
My favourite pick for the Champions League this week is Aston Villa to beat Club Brugge and under 4.5 goals in the game. You can get odds of plus 105 on that pick. Aston Villa outclass Club Brugge in the first leg, and I think they'll do a similar job on them at Villa Park in front of their home fans. So, looks like a great set of odds to me.
Man, that accent makes it hard to disagree with him. But what I will say is I do think Brugge will give Aston Villa a little bit of hell here, especially early. This is a team that we saw run over sides like Atalanta. It is a team that knows how to show up when they need to. So I don't think they'll win, but Brugge to score in the first half is plus 150, and I love taking a snipe at that.
Yeah, I'm with you on all this stuff. I mean, we must have just been in contact with each other because we're agreeing on quite a bit of stuff today, Buckets, which doesn't have an opt-in. And let's give a big shout out to Club Brugge, their fans, and their content. They do really well on Stoppage Time. So can we please, Villa, Unai Emery, if you're listening, which you do, let Brugge score so Buckets and I and Ian Joy can make a bit of money for everyone else. There you have it with the Champions League and a bunch of the predictions in terms of bets. But I want to get predictions in terms of potential scores and who's going to advance to the next round, Buckets.
Let's just go down the line then. Score predictions. I'm looking at a Barcelona victory over Benfica, 3-1 in that leg. I'm looking at Liverpool PSG. This is the one that's going to get me in trouble. I've got PSG 2-1 and then PSG going through on penalty kicks. I'm going against Allison, who just had one of the greatest performances in Champions League history. I do not care. PSG is the better side right now. Lille versus Dortmund. Sorry, Jeff. Dortmund's terrible right now. Lille go through 1-1 in PKs as well. Arsenal PSV, I have no clue, man. 2-2, 7-8, 4-3. There's going to be goals in it, but not enough for PSV to make anything happen. Inter Feyenoord, we talked about this one. KG win for nil to Inter, 1-0 or 2-0. Leverkusen versus Bayern Munich. Just hold on, boys. Just give me a little bit of hope here. 1-0 Leverkusen. We're all happy. We all move through. We all make money. Aston Villa versus Club Brugge. A similar scoreline of 2-1 to Aston Villa. And Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, 3-1 Atletico Madrid.
Wow, 3-1, man. From your lips to Antoine Griezmann's boots, because the guy has been playing like he is in another planet, and that's not a good thing. He literally looks like he's been sleepwalking in the last 3 weeks. So hopefully he'll wake up for this. That is Champions League. Now let's flip over to Thursday. I think the anthem goes, oh, oh, oh. So I never sing. My voice is crap. But you get the idea. Thursday action is Europa League action. And when we look at the matchups, Buckets, what's your overarching theme that you see right there?
Well, my overarching theme, which is also one of the reasons I love Europa so much, is goals. I mean, both teams to score hit in 7 of the 8 matches, and 6 of the 8, and the only 2 teams to not score were Olympiacos, which not the greatest side by any means, but Spurs. So it's not even like that shouldn't have hit. We see a lot of goals in these matchups, and I think we see a lot of that in the second leg as well, because these are teams that kind of, for lack of a better term, say fuck it and go for it, and that's how I love to bet.
Yeah, buddy. I want some goals and I want some futures. Give me some futures to win the Europa League. And we see some familiar names, Premier League sides. We see some Italian football club sides. But I want to see, who does Buckets thinks are the real deal to get their hands on this trophy?
How crazy is it that Tottenham is down 1-0 in aggregate, and they are not only the favorites to win that match, but the whole tournament? I think betting on any EPL team right now is just setting your money on fire and throwing it away. I know you're a Man United fan, but no way in hell can you look at this Man United squad and say that they are a top 3 side in any competition. I like Lazio and I like Roma. That are the only teams I'm willing to put money on right now.
You just had to I can't win. We're winning 1-0. United are winning 1-0 against Arsenal. We still can't win. And now I come on the show and I can't win. I think my boy Buckets is gonna throw me a bone here. But yeah, it's gonna take a tall ask. And they just don't have any players. You know, United don't have any healthy players left. Lenny Euro could be gone. We'll see what happens in that. Ruben Amorim, if he gets this over the line and they win, then he deserves all the Gucci product that he is wearing on the sidelines and then some. Sign him to a lifetime deal. But that's neither here nor there. Let's just get into the bets. Before we get into the bets, I want to talk about Bodø, Glimt, and Olympiacos. Big shout out to the Bodø fans and Bodø Glimt as a club. I mean, their content is performing better than just about anything, even better than Champions League, I hear. So this is an important pick for the show. Bodø Glimt up 3-0 from the first leg. They put an absolute ass whooping on the Greek side. The reigning Conference League champions, though, go back to Athens, where they're a bit formidable. Do they do it? Do they turn it around?
They are not going to turn it around. They're not going to recover on that 3-goal deficit, but they will make something happen in the second leg. If you look at Olympiacos playing at home in major European competitions, they are unbeaten in their last 6 matches with 4 wins and 2 draws. And Bodø Glimt are ahead enough that they can park the bus. They can take things slow. Even if they're the better side, they don't need to be the better side for this matchup here. I do still, of course, because it's me and this is how I bet. I love both teams to score here at minus 110. I think Olympiacos probably get at least 1, if not 2 at home. But if they do get that first goal, they're going to get desperate. They're going to play sloppy. And Bodø are vicious on the counterattack. They'll get one late here.
Oh, man, I would love nothing more than for Bodø Glimt to go and win this whole damn thing, because a lot of people who have a pipe dream, they will make a lot of money. I might go and bet on them, but Ayoub El Kaabi will be the difference. If he is healthy, he is a goal machine. The next one up, Tottenham Hotspur. They get a miracle draw against Bournemouth, which I was shocked given how they played for about 60 minutes. They play an AZ side that should have beaten the you-know-what out of them in the first leg. It's only 1-0, though, Buckets. How does this one go?
I have no idea, and it is my job to figure out how these games go, because Spurs are another one of these teams that they will play against the greatest teams on the nation and look perfect and play flawless, and then they'll lose 6-0 to Northside High School down the street. It is so hard to get a read on these Spurs sides, but being down 1-0 in goals and needing to make something happen, you need to rely on your big boys to do big things here. I'm looking at Dominic Solanke, anytime goal scorer, at plus 140. If Tell starts, I'll play him for a sprinkle as well, my boy from Munich, but the big guys have to make something happen in this fixture.
Yeah, do not sleep on AZ, though. We know how fragile Tottenham can be. I do like your Tottenham shout. The fans will get behind them, but this might be just my upset alert of the tournament. Tottenham, get out of here. Hopefully I'm wrong on this one, because it'd be fun to come back and kind of parade it around you and Ian Joy's face. I love to do that from time to time. Okay, next one up. This is probably the biggest match so far of this knockout round of 16. Athletic Club, they host a high-flying Roma side. Roma, they scored at the death in the first leg at the Stadio Olimpico, but they struggle on the road. So can Claudio Ranieri get his hand on another trophy?
They love to struggle on the road, this Roma side. An Athletic Club, if there was a trophy for taking a ton of shots with none on target, they would have looked phenomenal in that first leg. 16 shots and only 1 on target from Athletic Club in that first leg. I think they will be significantly more clinical when playing at home, and players like Inaki Williams are good enough to make something happen against a Roma side that just leaks goals on the road. Being down in aggregate, they're going to go for it. I'm going Athletic Club over 1.5 team total, so Athletic Club to score 2 or more at plus 110.
Yeah, Athletic Club, they are a formidable team, especially at home. St. Mames, where the final is going to be. We've seen it before where teams are highly motivated. Think Bayern Munich, your boys, back in the Champions League. Oh, they lost that one. Damn it, I'm wrong. But they are highly motivated to get back to a final. You know, I had to put one in there for you, lay a glove on you.
That's all right.
Okay, we stick with Italian football. Lazio, who are playing on a Monday. They have top 4 in Serie A in sight. They host a Victoria Pilsen side that I thought were actually the better team until Gustav Isaacson said, not on my watch.
Victoria Pilsen did the big thing that all clubs do in matchups like this. They go up early or they keep it a tight draw and they slow down. They take the foot off the gas. They were the better team for about 70 minutes, but they got kind of scared in the end, it looked like to me. And the fact that they gave up a goal while they were up 2 men shows that they were kind of playing for the draw here. Well, now you're down a goal, and you can't do that again in the second leg. Lazio is the better side. They're probably going to score 2 here, but Pilsen will get their goal. They will keep this competitive, and BTTS will hit at plus 110.
Lazio are one of the stories I love. They're making me lose my voice that much because they're that awesome. But their manager, Marco Badoni, He is miracle working with what he's done with the budget, the recruitment, and they will be getting Tate Castellanos at some point. They don't need him. They will get it done against the Pilsen side that are there for the taking. Frankfurt, they host Ajax in what was one of the shock first leg results. Hugo Larsson and Elias Skiddy, they get the goals in the first leg, but can the German side keep it up against the Amsterdammers?
They are going to be experiencing hellfire in the second leg because Ajax is a side that will come out for blood. They will not slow down, and we are going to get 90 minutes of non-stop attacking football from both sides here. I love goals in this game. Take the both teams to score, take the over and a half, take whatever you want to take, but make sure you don't ignore Hugo, I can never say this name, Ekatike there coming back for Frankfurt, making something big happen. If we're going to see goals out of Frankfurt, he's going to have a big impact. He is currently leading the charge this season. Ever since Omar Marmoush left the city, he's the guy I'm looking at. I'm looking at him to score or assist. It's plus money, plus 110 here, Mike.
Good money spent. And on the other side, Brian Broby, I feel for him because the biggest head at the Amsterdam Arena, it cost him a goal that ended up being the difference maker to get Frankfurt back in it. But that should be a fun one. We go to France, Lyon. Paulo Fonseca may not be allowed to be anywhere near a football pitch in domestic competition because he loses his mind from time and time again. They carry a 3-1 lead at home against FCSB. Surely it's in the bag, no?
It's in the bag here, even without their man. 9 months. I'm not going to go on a rant about this, but I disagree with that decision. Maybe I'm missing things, but that's besides the point. I think Lyon stomp them here. I think they'll probably win this game and probably put up 3 or 4 goals without even trying. They're the better side with the better quality, with the better. I mean, everything about Lyon is the better side here. But what I will say is I do have respect for the Romanian side, FCSB, because even though they are heavy underdogs, they came out, they scored a goal, they had decent possession, they had 11 shots, 4 on target. They know how to produce a goal. Maybe not enough to win, but the fact that not even both teams to score, just FCSB to score at all in this game is even money plus 100.
Ooh.
I've got no problem taking a stab at that.
Love that. The French side, dude, they score goals, they give up goals. We've seen that in just about every match in the Europa League. And to bring it back to the British Isles, Rangers, they take a 3-1 lead, unthinkable 3-1 lead. Barry Ferguson and his side over Jose Mourinho. The special one, though, said, this match is far from over. You agree with him?
I want to agree with them, but Fenerbahce embarrassed me all. I mean, I hit my bet for this game. I was on both teams to score over 2.5, but I expected it to be a 3-1 Fener. So the fact that we didn't get that was a bit crazy to me. Now they have to go play against Rangers, who are a nightmare to play against on their home turf. I'm just going to go back and say I do see goals in this one. I do not know if Fener has it in them to overtake Rangers, but I do think over 2.5 goals is a gift in this matchup, considering both teams are going to score, and Fenerbahce is going to have to go for 2, 3, 4 goals to make this win happen.
I've seen this before where Rangers, they've been at home against a big European side, and they got their asses smashed in, absolutely caved in. Oh, that was Lyon, and it was in Europa League. I don't think this tie is done yet. I think Jose Mourinho could be in for another special European night, but we'll see. And, of course, to round it out, we had to leave the best or maybe the best struggling side for last. In Manchester United, they host a tricky match against, you never know what you're going to get, Real Sociedad. Buckets, Ruben Amorim United, surely they get this one. Or do they?
I have no idea. What I will say is neither do the books. Nobody knows what's going to happen here because if you look at player props for this matchup, everything is big plus money. Bruno to score is plus 230. Xerxes is plus 280. Hoyland plus 290. Garnacho plus 300. Ori Stein plus 333. Oyarzabal plus 425. They're saying no one's going to score in this game, and we are going to see goals here. The goal is to try to find who gets the goals. So I'm going to go with that United guy who I can't pronounce his last name correctly. I call him Fernandez. I know it's not that. But at plus 230 for Bruno Fernandes to score, plus 230, give me that all day playing at home.
Yeah, I actually got a chance to talk with Bruno Fernandes early today, and he looks like he is chomping at the bit to score another banger at Old Trafford. And I think it's back-to-back matches or maybe a couple matches since he scored from dead ball situations. He is Mr. Clutch for Ruben Amorim, and I think that's today's show, is it?
Yeah, unless there's anything you want to say.
No.
Talk about?
Look, it's an honor to be on this show. It's been a long time coming. I know that you and Ian, we've been going back and forth. Big fan of what you guys do with Stoppage Time. And because of you guys and the amazing fans and the loyal following, you've actually gotten me to break open my own sports book. And I placed a couple bets this season. I follow you guys, so keep doing what you're doing. Big fan of the show and big fan of you, Buckets.
I appreciate that. I'm always glad to get other people here, into the betting aspect of it, because I know you're one of the people that does it responsibly and does it carefully. But I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you hosting. I wanted to leave you with one extra bonus bet as well here, Mike. I did not tell you about this.
Okay.
I did not tell producer Jeff, so I apologize, Jeff. There is a championship match taking place in England, the second tier of English football, between Leeds United and Millwall, taking place on the 12th. There's a player playing for Leeds right now whose anytime goal scorer line is plus 250. I'm shouting out Manor Solomon. He's got 7 goals and 7 assists already with Leeds this season. Let's go Michael Lahoud style and take him to score as well.
Let's go. Come on, man. Just give me that money back and give the people what they want. Well, I hope you guys have gotten what you want. I hope happy betting, safe betting, and go make that money. That's all for now. Ciao.
Stoppage time.